Hello there, floralpreneurs. It is I, Alison Ellis, coming at you live. It's July. I can't even believe it. I'm doing my usual, just checking to see if I have appeared magically over in our Facebook group. I know this was kind of impromptu, last minute invitation to join me. So if you're able to join live, I appreciate you being here. And if you're watching on a replay, I appreciate you just the same. All right. Seriously. I'm so glad to be able to come on live today. I have to go out to my studio soon, so I'm not going to take up a ton of your time today, but I've been talking a lot about, or thinking a lot about, what it means to be successful, right? Successful floral business. What does that mean? I wrote a blog post on this. So if you haven't seen it, you can head to realflowerbusiness.com, head to my blog, and you'll see a couple of tips, a couple of things I put together on what I think it really means. There's some elements that go into being successful in your floral design business. And yes, of course, it's going to start with floral design. You got to know flower care, floral design skills. You need to have that piece figured out, right? But then we also need to know how to make a sale, right? How to actually, people always say, well, where do I find customers? Where should I advertise, right? How do I get the customers to come in? Well, once they do come in, how do you actually sell to them? So you need to know, what are you offering that's unique and of value and important enough for the client to get to yes? And then how do you get them to yes? How do you lead them to yes? And that really does come down to, you have to know how to close the sale. And a lot of people don't even ask for the sale when you talk to a customer. You maybe even send out an entire wedding quote, but you don't follow up. You might come in my Facebook group and say, I haven't heard back from somebody and it's been a month. Is it okay to follow up? Or when should I follow up? It's been, however many weeks and I still haven't heard anything. So that's what closing the sale is about, right? Closing the sale is follow-up. Closing the sale is leading them to a yes, right? So that's another aspect of this that you have to figure out in your floral design business. And then you need to know how to price, right? Obviously, I talk a ton about pricing. If you're new here, you might not know that about me yet, but I'm all about making sure that flowers turn a profit, consistent profit on every order. So you need to know how you price so that you can pay yourself, because paying yourself in your business is essential. If you don't pay yourself, you have a hobby, right? And that's not meant to be like, ouch, burn, right? No, it's just the truth. If you are doing something without pay, you are a volunteer or you're working on a hobby, right? And there is nothing wrong with being a hobbyist. You can be a hobbyist, but paying yourself is a really important element to your success, to running a successful floral design business. Then the next piece is getting those customers in the door. So yes, you need to know how to sell to them and close the sale, but you need to build that brand reputation that brings in good clients consistently. That takes time. There's no magic bullet for that. There's no, you know what you're going to do? You're just going to post on Instagram every single day for a year and you're going to have a good brand. Nope, doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You know what? If you have 10,000 followers, you have a good brand. Nope, doesn't work that way. So you really need to put all these pieces together in order to run a business for the long term. We have design skills. We know how to take care of flowers. We continue to learn and hone those things. We make sure that we get better systems for closing sales with clients. How do we pitch what we're selling and then follow up so that they give us that deposit and get to that yes? Making sure we're charging enough, giving ourselves a pay increase from time to time, right? Because you shouldn't only be paying yourself the minimum that you can possibly pay yourself. Every now and again, you have to give yourself a pay increase. Again, paying yourself is essential if what you have is a business. Owners should not be not getting paid, okay? And then back to the branding, right? Building a solid brand. I talk a lot about this over the years. Your brand is what you deliver to your clients. That's why having 10,000 followers isn't your brand. It's what you deliver, what they experience, how they feel about you, and what they say about you when you're not in the room. So those are all the things that have to come together in order for you to even have a chance at being successful. So let's define a little bit about what success means, right? Because the truth is, there isn't one way to have a successful floral business. There just isn't. Success is going to look different for everybody. So here's an example. So success could mean, we just barely got that ceremony set up and got out of there before the guests arrived, right? Success. That is one form of success. Success could be, I pay myself regularly and I feel successful because of that. Success could mean you sleep at night. You're not sure how you're going to pull this off, or having like that imposter syndrome overtake you and constantly being like, I can't believe they picked me. Why am I the one doing this job? I'm not even ready. So success is going to look different in different moments for people, right? You have to define it for yourself. So I can't tell you, so here's what a successful floral business looks like, because you have to define it. For me, paying myself, right? Have I mentioned that enough times already? Is part of how I define my success. How happy I am with my clients. Again, that's my branding, what brings in the good clients. How happy am I with those clients? Are they an easy yes? Going to closing the sale, right? Did they get to a yes in 15 minutes? I talked about that a month or two ago. I had a string of inquiries that I had consultations, sent out prompt proposals, and I got yeses in minutes. They got their quote and they were a yes. It was just sort of like they probably barely had time to skim it. And they're like, yep, I'm in. That's how I measure my success. How well am I doing with that branding messaging, that I'm bringing in the clients that are easy to sell to? All right. So that's how I measure my success. And then I'm always going to be measuring by how I feel. Am I overwhelmed? Do I have too many weddings? Am I in too many different places? Is my delivery area too big and I need to scale it back? So these are all things I'm going to constantly be evaluating in my business, because again, there isn't one right answer that's going to stay right for you forever. Example, some people in this group do 150 weddings a year. What? Yes, they do. I see you in here. You say, you're like, I do 150 weddings. That is not what I want to do, right? So it can't be my goal to be like, you know what? I want to do the most weddings I possibly can. For other people, right? They are going to reach all these other goals. They're going to be able to pay themselves and hire people and build the business that they love and the reputation that they want to have by doing 100 weddings or 150 weddings. But success is going to be how you feel about it. Again, something I've talked a lot about are these core desired feelings, getting in touch with that. I could do a whole chat on that another day. But how do you want to feel in your business is a really important aspect for measuring and just being the gauge for your own success. If I try to follow somebody else's plan, it's not necessarily going to lead to me feeling fulfilled. So we have to define these things from time to time. We have to sit down and say, is this making me happy? I was just, I'm in another group for like entrepreneurs, and it's part of a course that I had bought years ago. And someone said, I want to run my business without doing Instagram. Does anybody do that? And a bunch of people raised their hands and, yep, I do it. And they explained exactly how they do their business and they do not pay attention to Instagram. Now, in the floral design world, that's a little harder to do. It's a visual medium. We share our visuals. We love to feed the Instagram with our images, right? Like Raise your hand if you're like, I feed the gram. I'm constantly feeding the gram with my images. But what I'm always reminding you is Instagram does not love you. No offense, right? No offense. But they don't. They only serve your post to maybe 10% of your audience. And who knows, by next year, it could be 5% of your audience. I actually had a customer, my most recent client that just booked last week. I said, we were talking about, she doesn't really have images in her mind yet. She just wants to get vendors booked. So she said, everyone keeps telling me to go to their Instagram. She said, I'm not on Instagram. What? I've been saying this for at least the last 2 years. Your future clients may not be on Instagram. And that was my first moment of like, whoa. And this isn't like an older person, all right? This is a young person who is not on Instagram. And so when she was talking, obviously with other florists, I don't know who, but when she was talking with other florists and they told her to go to their Instagram, she couldn't. So I want you to think real strong and hard while you're designing over the weekend, while you're driving, when I'm driving to events, that's where I do a lot of my thinking. So I have a lot of videos of like my chin as I'm talking into to record an idea or a thought. I'm sure you do the same sometimes, but we need to be really, really clear about what success looks like for us so that we can continue right now. So my calendar is almost full for 2022. Your calendar may be almost full, or you may be getting a lot of inquiries right now. And when we are busy, busy, busy doing the work that we have to do, we can't ignore the new customers coming in. So as these customers are coming in, what is it going to look like for you to successfully book them quickly, easily, getting them to a yes, leading them to a yes without having to feel like you're badgering them? Hey, did you make a decision? Hey, did you make a decision? You need to have those kinds of systems in place. So if you don't already, right, now is that time. What does success look like for you next year? Is it 20 weddings? Is it 100 weddings? Is it 10 weddings? And focus on how you make that happen. How do you continue to create beautiful work for your clients this year, but also provide customer service to the new potential inquiries for next year? Your future clients are depending on you, right? So we can't just be like, listen, I'm so busy right now. Let me brag to you about how busy I be. Being busy is not their problem, right? If someone doesn't get back to you, they didn't get back to you. It doesn't really matter why. And if the customer has now moved on to somebody else, you just lost that customer. They could have been your customer, but you blew it because you were busy. So again, something I've talked about, I shared not too long ago, the busyness of business. Stop glorifying it. Stop acting like that's your goal. Busy is not success. There are a lot of busy people who don't pay themselves. A lot of busy people who are miserable, okay? So you define what your success looks like. Think about it, right? Whistle while you work. Think about it while you work. What does it look like? What would that really, truly feel like for you? And then take steps to make it happen. So I don't have some huge sales pitch or something I'm trying to get you to enroll in today. This is just something that was on my mind for 2 reasons. I'll tell you why. So I ask for feedback from people from time to time. And I got this an input from someone who said, if I ran my business like you, I'd be out of business, right? I'd be out of business if I ran my business like you. You follow your emotions too much. So let me just say this. This is not some kind of clapback. I think people, especially after COVID, and we all got kind of unraveled, people have emotions, people have feelings, right? It's good to express them. And what my feeling was when someone felt the need to anonymously tell me that if they ran their business like me, they'd be out of business, was like, well, I'm going into my 19th year in business. So that's interesting because as I go into my almost 2 decades of running my own company, I don't see how that means I'm out of business, right? And if you ran your business like me, you'd have money to have refunded some of those deposits that people were asking for, right? If you ran your business like me, again, you'd still be able to pay yourself all year round. If you ran your business like me, you'd have customers who like literally call you the day after the wedding and say, "Will you do my next daughter's wedding?" Right? So I'm good, right? With how I run my business. I'm good knowing that if you ran your business like me, you would not, in fact, be out of business. What you might, in fact, be is profitable, happy, right? Feeling like you're always trying to do the next thing and do it a little bit better. That's how I run my business. And that's how I hope you will run your businesses too, in a way that is focused on what makes you light up inside, what makes you still love flowers, right? I have a studio full of beautiful flowers. I'll show them to you on Instagram later. They're beautiful. I can't wait to get my hands on them. Well, my gloved hands, because now I'm wearing gloves when I design. But that is what success means. Success means I don't have the weddings and pay myself, but hate the work, hate looking at flowers, hate having to be in my studio, right? That's how we define success for ourselves, figuring out what makes us happy. Success for me, being able to meet my kid at the bus stop when school's back in session, and I'll be able to, be here picking him up every day. That's success for me. That might not be everybody's form of success, but for me, it is. I like it. That's what I want. And so that's how I define it. Again, in terms of running your business with emotion, there's a difference between emotion. Emotion means I'm reactive, right? Maybe I'm explosive. Heart is different. I run my business with heart. Again, because I define what success is for me, what my business should look like for me. I'm not emotional. There's literally nothing that happens in my business that is a result of my emotions. Full stop. 100% truth. Nothing. Even when this person, right, anonymously said, if I ran my business like you, I'd be out of business. I didn't have an emotional response to that because I know that ain't true. Because I got the numbers to prove it, because this is my 19th season, right? So next year will be my 20th year doing wedding flowers. That's nothing to laugh at, sneeze at, or think, oh, you know what? Let me get real emotional and feel like, this person's wrong. No. Very calmly, this person's wrong, because I know in my heart that not everybody can, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, right? And that's fine. I have to know that, or else I would be like, I can't go live because somebody's going to not like it. Somebody could be watching this right now, not liking it. And I'm okay with that. I am so okay with that. All right. But running your business, not in an emotional level. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, I can't believe this person said this. Oh my God, can you believe that they just asked me for whatever, a discount, free cake flowers? Can I do breakdown at midnight? I can't believe it. It's a real response, right? Based on experience. Yes, I can do that. No, I can't do that. Yes, we can make that happen. And it will be $500 to show up at midnight tonight, right? We can do that. No problem, right? But it doesn't have to be emotional. But you can run your business with heart. That is, I think, how the happiest business owners do things. You create some rules, you create some outlines, structure, right? Things that you always do, systems for yourself. But at the end of the day, right? If you run your business with heart, that is going to inform your procedures, inform your systems, and it's going to continue to help you build that brand, right? Your brand is not what you tell people you are or what you do. You're not bespoke just because you say it. You're a good brand because other people say it. You're a good brand because other people had a good experience with you. And that is so much more meaningful than just what you want to say, right? Than just what you feel like saying to somebody else about yourself. So put those pieces together, right? It's not always easy, right? It's not easy. We have to, the floral design, the pricing, the sales piece, the branding piece, but it is doable and it is something that is only going to get better over time, right? So if you're not feeling successful right now, brush that off and figure out what success would feel like or look like for you, and then start to create that path, right? That is the only way out, right? It was like the only way out is through. Not necessarily. You can stop. You could take a moment and go, wait, record scratch, right? Wait, this is actually not working for me. Here's what I would like instead. And so for some people, there's some people in this group who do 0 weddings because you hate them. I hate them. I hate weddings. Okay, great. I love them. Send them my way. So everybody has to define that for themselves. I can tell you, oh, here's how I do weddings. I share all these, I share my templates, how I sell the wedding. I show you how I price. I can show you all these things. But if you don't like it, if doing a wedding doesn't make you happy, then that's not helpful to you. You don't want to know how to write a proposal, how to close the sale, what the wedding workflow looks like, or what my contract looks like, because you'd rather not do weddings. You'd rather do something else. So good for you, right? Good for you for knowing that about you and about your company. And do what fills you up. Do what makes your heart happy, because then you're leading with integrity and heart, and nobody can touch that, right? When you're truly being your most authentic self in your business, which is so hard to do, right? I know that. Everyone wants to show up like shiny, right? So shiny. I do luxury events. I do this, I do that. I don't do luxury events and I'm okay with it. I do some, but I just love regular weddings, right? I want to do things that make me happy. And that's something that I've had to learn over time, right? And learning that over time means sometimes you make a mistake. Sometimes you take a wedding that's too big. Someone asked a question a couple weeks ago, what do you do when you're in over your head? I can't get to every question in this group, obviously, but that's a really good one, because sometimes you feel like you're in over your head, but you're not. Sometimes you're in over your head. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes, sometimes you have no idea how you're going to pull off that thing that you're supposed to be doing tomorrow, right? And that is just par for the course with this job from time to time. People will tell you, oh, but you should know. You should never go not knowing. That's impossible. It's impossible to do a dry run of everything before you do it in real life, right? So that's why you have to build up, again, back to the very beginning of what I said here. And I have a cute little infographic for this actually on my blog. So check it out. It's a cute little running a successful floral business infographic. But you got to have those design skills so that when you get on site, I don't need to know exactly how I'm going to attach those flowers to this pew, right? We've had a few of those conversations this week. I just know that I'll figure it out when I get there because I got everything I need in here and in my toolbox, right? So I can get there and I can figure it out. You don't have to have the answer to absolutely everything. All right, I see 2 very long comments here, and I'm afraid if I start reading them, I'm gonna might go cross-eyed. So I'm going to read these comments offline and I'm going to reply to both of them. I told you I wasn't going to keep you long. And so I'm going to keep that promise so that I stay in integrity. And also, because no joke, I've got to make 8 bouquets today. So that's on my agenda. 8 bouquets. I don't know. For me, anytime there's more than 5 bridesmaids bouquets, I'm like, okay, got this, girl. You got this. So that's what I'm about to go do. Whatever you're doing, whether you're working or you actually took time to stop and watch this, I appreciate you being here. If you want to go further with me on anything in your business, one of my things I've been talking about lately is my Patreon membership. Again, you'll find that on my website, and I'll put a link here in the video. This is a place where it's a creator page. It's a page where creators and artists can just share their stuff with people who are interested in seeing and hearing and knowing that stuff. And so that's what I share over on Patreon is all my behind the scenes stuff, things about how I book weddings, how I close sales, how I pre-qualify clients, and then just a ton of stuff behind the scenes, like here's a wedding I did. Here's what I priced it at. Here's how much money I made. Or like, here's a wedding I did. Here's the recipe for the ceremony flowers. And any questions you have, like I said, I can't always answer every question that is asked here, but I answer every question that you ask over on Patreon because that's what it is there for. So if you need more access to me, that's what Patreon is for. But also really, truly, like so much of my best stuff is over there. So you can check that out if you're interested. And of course, here in my free group is always free. And I do my best to show up here as much as possible for you, including on a day when I've got to go out there and make 8 bouquets. Okay. So again, I'm here for you people. I am here for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch all the way to the end, whether you're watching on a replay or live, again, super duper appreciate you. And I will see you again soon. I've got more stuff on this I want to talk about. And again, I'll reply to your long and I'm sure heartfelt and inspiring comments offline here. Have a great day. Keep doing beautiful work. And I'll see you over on Instagram if you want to see some of my behind the scenes stuff from my wedding this week. Okay.